I know today's subjects were a bit more challenging, and I would just encourage you to allow yourself to feel your way through some of the answers that I've given today. We find that we go back to the same questions because we're not yet resolved within our hearts to actually engage a process. Many of you are asking the same questions again and again because you're not willing to engage a process to get your own answer to the question. Does that make sense? And what I would encourage you to do is to go through this emotional process, because it's only this emotional process that will give you the answers to many of these questions. And then you will not be dependent on somebody else telling you the answer. You, through your own relationship with God, will understand the answer. And the beauty of doing that cannot be understated. Honestly, it's far better that you become self-sufficient individuals than it is for you to rely on somebody else to give you answers all the time. So I'd just like to encourage you to focus on the emotional process. Don't keep avoiding this emotional process. Does that make sense? Just encourage you to face and be diligent in your own desire to do it. Myself and Mary spend almost all day, every day that we have spare, and when I say that we have spare, that we're not talking to people, we spend almost all day, every day dealing with emotional processes. And we've done that, I've done that for the last 9 years straight. Right? And I started the process 15 years ago, but it was 9 years ago that I'd been doing it every single moment of every single day. And still, I'm not at one with God yet. Right? Now, I say that to you because it requires some true desire on your part to become at one with God. It's required from me a true desire to work through these issues with sincerity. And when you think about it, isn't that wonderful? Like this beautiful process with God requires sincerity. You can't do it without sincerity. There's a lot of things on earth you can do without sincerity, right? But you're not going to be able to do this relationship with God thing without sincerity. And so I think that's a beautiful fact, that it requires complete sincerity on my part to have a deeper relationship with God. And I'd just like to encourage you to engage with sincerity the emotional process, rather than just dismissing it all the time or shifting it onto other things or trying to tell yourself, deny things or trying to tell yourself things that are not actually true, that you know are not true inside of yourself. That's what I'd like to encourage you to do.